Thanks for listening to The Professional Edge. My name's Todd, tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. We're talking about the EMC Advantage. What does that actually mean? Well, it's when you work with a tax attorney, a CPA, and a certified financial planner to get that what is commonly referred to as 1 + 1 = 3. There's a unique combination by working with a qualified professional that can put your financial, tax, and estate planning into one cohesive plan. So, on to the EMC Advantage. We talked about taxes, we talked about some asset protection. So, here's another asset protection plan on the EMC Advantage. Well, when you pass away, let's put these items in trust for your kids, meaning your estate goes in trust for your kids. A lot of people say, I'm not going to control from the grave. Well, let's think about this for a second. Let's put the child in charge, meaning put the child as their own trustee, and then also name the child as the beneficiary of the trust. So they have unbridled access to that money. Let's say they are not a spendthrift, so therefore they can have access, they can draw down the money, they can do whatever they want with it. Okay, that seems like they have control. Yes, they do. They're the trustee. Do they have to answer to anyone else? No, they're the sole trustee, and they're the sole beneficiary. So why would we do this? Well, being an estate tax attorney, I would do this for one key provision. It protects those assets from the claims of a potential creditor. And that potential creditor could be A, they go in business for themselves. Let's say they are in the medical field. They're probably going to be a defendant on a lawsuit during their career. Let's be honest. And then they may have a divorce. So these assets that are within this testamentary trust for the benefit of your child are 100% creditor proof from the claims of creditors. It's the only time under law where you can assign the trustee and they can also be the sole beneficiary. That's one advantage of understanding A, the financial planning, and B, the estate planning, and C, the asset protection strategy that you, as a listener here on The Professional Edge, should severely and succinctly implement for your estate plan. The reason being, you want asset protection. We are not in a non-litigious society, and I think that's going to continue to go up. I think relationships are under stress for these long-term marriages. There was a agrarian need for marriage and family fostering, and I'm not here promoting that relationships should disintegrate, but the reality of it is greater than 50% of all first marriages end in divorce, and second marriages are at 80%. So let's be realistic and let's plan for that and allow you to put those assets in trust for your child to protect them from the potential claims of creditors, being an ex-spouse, or when they are a defendant in a lawsuit. So to start that conversation, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. So what's another EMC advantage? Well, the advantage is you are doing something on the side. Let's say you're collecting old movie posters, and you just have this knack for finding things. You scrounge around at yard sales, you see something online, you may go and buy one of these storage containers. You've watched Storage Wars, and you delve into that. And lo and behold, you get some of these. Well, is it a hobby or is it a business? Because hobby, you may be expending more money than you're actually making. You know, you're driving around, you buy some things, you go to swap meets, things like that. Well, if it's a hobby, you don't get to deduct any of those losses. And you say, okay, What if we structure this as a business? Being a tax attorney and a CPA, let's structure this as a business that you hold yourself out as these old movie memorabilia, the placards that they have advertised in the movies. And now there's a difference. Those losses that you have, let's say you spend $4,000 and you collect $1,000, so you have a $3,000 loss. Well, those losses, if you're in business, can be actually offset against your interest, dividends, and W-2. So, okay, we had 4 in expenses, 1 in revenue. We have $3,000 in loss. Just quick math, 30% effective tax rate, your $900 savings. So just by understanding the nuance between a hobby and a business, getting competent tax counsel on what that nuance is just saved you $900 the very first year. And this is a very simple example. You had $4,000 of expenses, $1,000 of revenue. You lost $3,000. If it's a hobby, you do not get to take that off on your income tax return. But if it's a business, you're properly counseled on what justifies a business within the eyes of the IRS, then that $3,000 can actually offset your W-2 earnings and save you $900, 30% effective tax rate when you add in the federal and the state. So that right there is worth a conversation. Think about that for a second. You just saved $900 by listening to this for 3 minutes. Think of what else we might be able to spot that you're doing incorrectly, which could save you a little bit of tax dollars. And when we add up all the different tax savings, then it could be significant. So to start that conversation, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. Okay, you bought an iPad for this business to take pictures of the photos, and you post it occasionally on Facebook Marketplace to sell them. And did you deduct the iPad cost? Well, the IRS allows you to deduct the business use percentage of that iPad. So if you can show the IRS that the only reason why you bought the iPad was for your movie memorabilia, and to categorize it and say, oh, this is Western and this is action movies, and you use that to post on your Facebook to sell some of these, well, you know what? It's 100% business use, and the cost of that iPad can be deducted as well. Again, if you're in business and that deduction drives you to a negative, that negative, meaning a business loss, can offset your active income, your other W-2 earnings. So think about that for a second. You bought the iPad for $500, 30% tax savings. That's another $150 for listening for the last 2 minutes. So we start looking at these things because if you are expending money on behalf of this business and it is business use, then you are legally entitled to deduct that off of your income tax return. Yes, these are the nuances that we help and assist our clients at estate management counselors do. It's these little things. Okay, did I get paid for helping you save the $150 in taxes? The answer is no. It's part of what we do with our clients. So that's those little things. Stockbroker looks at you and says, I have no idea. I'm not licensed to give tax advice regarding the iPad you purchased for your business or your hobby. I couldn't tell you the difference between what a business and a hobby is, but hey, I got a new investment I want to sell you for some additional commissions. Okay, that may be your current situation. Or you dial the 1-800 number of the firm because you're thrifty and you're managing the portfolio yourself, and you say, hey, can I deduct this iPad on my tax return? They're going to immediately say, please hold. come back to you and say, well, we're not licensed to give tax advice. You need to consult with your tax advisor on that. Have a nice day. Is there anything else we can help you with? So why wouldn't you call estate management counselors at 877-654-9798? And you could say, hey, Scene, I bought this iPad. I paid $500 for it. I'm using it for my movie memorabilia business, because now we've had that conversation and it is structured as a business. And I say, okay, keep it clean. Only post business things on this iPad. Don't download your grandkids' movies of the 101 Dalmatians. Use a different iPad. Use your wife's iPad for that. And lo and behold, this then becomes 100% business use. We can take it off on Schedule C as in Charlie if that's your sole proprietorship. And therefore, we can use this as an additional deduction to maybe drive your business to a negative, and therefore you're going to pay less income tax to the Internal Revenue Service. That right there is the EMC Advantage. Is A, if it's a hobby, can't take a loss. If it's a business, we can take a loss. So that is being a tax attorney and a CPA, being able to understand what you're actually doing and adding value. In the first example, we had $4,000 of expenses. We got $1,000 of revenue. We show that on the return properly, and we subtract off that $3,000 loss, offset your W-2. We saved you $900. Wow. That's that buys a couple dinners now, or maybe one cart of groceries, the way inflation has hit. So again, to get the EMC Advantage, working with a tax attorney, CPA, certified financial planner, give our office a call at 877-654-9798, 877-654-9798, or visit our website at emcadvantage.com. If you don't want to make that conversation, you want to do a little bit more due diligence, I welcome that. So go ahead and go to Echo Mary Charlie Advantage.com. So my name's Todd, tax attorney, CPA, certified financial planner, bringing to you what I believe is the EMC Advantage. And being a listener here on the Professional Edge, you start to see how putting your tax planning, your financial planning, and your estate planning in a coordinated plan is very beneficial. Thanks for listening to the Professional Edge.
We've all thought about it. Everyone listening will need one. Not having one can cause untold heartache, family conflict escalating to the point of a lawsuit. One simple thing that avoids all that: an effective estate plan. As a practicing tax attorney, Todd with Estate Management Counselors has completed over 1,000 estate plans during his 15 years of professional practice. He can help you implement an effective estate plan, coordinate your financial accounts, and make sure you have named the proper beneficiaries to maximize your tax savings. Call 877-654-9798 today and let tax attorney Todd help you implement an effective estate plan. Call 877-654-9798 today. As a tax attorney, CPA for over 15 years, Todd has implemented over 1,000 individual estate plans. He has recently authored an especially helpful guide, How to Unlock the Ultimate Estate Plan. This guide has helped many individuals to understand the benefits of an estate plan and how to avoid unintended disasters. has made every attempt to write this in plain English. To receive this valuable guide, How to Unlock the Ultimate Estate Plan, call 1-877-654-9798 and request your complimentary copy today, or by emailing your request to info@emcadvisors.net.